So imagine surviving combat twice, only to come home and die because of a gallstone, because there were no beds in the ICU when you needed them. That is the horror of one family, of one mother, who is enduring this in Belleville, Texas. Danny Wilkinson, who is a Purple Heart recipient, is a casualty of COVID despite never having even contracted the virus. He waited for 7 hours for an ICU bed, despite doctors' best efforts to find space to save his life, only to eventually pass away from what is a completely treatable ailment. And with us now is Danny's mother, Michelle Puget. Michelle, I am so sorry for your loss. And
Thank you.
First, if you could just tell us, this is the side effect of these ICUs that are so full, and now your family has paid this ultimate price. Can you tell us a little bit about Danny?
Oh, Danny was pretty much a bigger than life type personality. He was a wonderful son. When he made a friend for life, and a brother to all of his Army buddies. He took care of me for 2 years while I was going through breast cancer, taking care of me completely as far as my appointments, my chemos, and everything. But all rolled up into one, he was a big teddy bear.
It's a big teddy bear. We're seeing a picture of him now, and we know how much you're hurting. We've talked to so many people who have lost their family members because of coronavirus. That is not why he died. Although in a way it is because of that, because of how full the ICUs are. Can you just tell us about what happened? He was diagnosed with gallstone pancreatitis, and then what happened?
Once the doctor made the diagnosis, and they had already told me that he was pretty sick, and they started doing the labs and running whatever tests that they needed to have done, and he discovered that he had gallstone pancreatitis. I can't say it this morning. I'm sorry. He said if he doesn't have this special procedure done, he will die. And Danny, at that point, and everything was still talking, and I was able to discuss, what he needed me to do. And they fought for a bed for 7 hours to try to get him into an ICU. They called all the hospitals in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, and Colorado, and there wasn't a bed for him. And every minute that he was being rejected, an ICU bed, he was dying. Because all the bile and everything was backing up into his system, and his organs were already starting to shut down. And so 7 hours later, they were able to get him to the VA. And it was too late. They were unable to stabilize him. His blood pressure kept dropping down into the 40s and 50s. And so those hours were very, very important. Those minutes were very important.
And those hours and minutes weren't there because of how full the hospitals are. And look, I know nothing can bring Danny back, but I wonder what your message is as you are reflecting on this backup that cost his life.
Well, it's not necessarily. I've heard from the doctors that they have ICU beds. They just don't have the personnel to man them, and the shortage of nurses. The doctor and I were talking after the fact, and our idea was that when the pandemic first came out, they threw up all these tent hospitals. The ships were there to take care of COVID patients and everything. We don't see any of that in any of the states going on. And if they did, the military could come in with their medical staff and help. So I just think that that's something that needs to be considered. And because my children and my daughter now and my nephews, I mean my grandsons, Danny's nephews and everything, they lost a wonderful person in their life. And I'm just hoping his story might save one life, maybe 1,000 lives. I don't know. But I want his story to be told.
Michelle, thank you for telling Danny's story. We too hope
Thank you.
that people hear it and they understand the stakes as we see this surge in coronavirus cases affecting even people who do not have the disease. Michelle, we are so sorry for your loss.
I
Yes?
just firmly believe that everybody needs treatment when they need treatment, especially for life-saving treatment.